I'm a little bit early tonight. Like an hour early. I did not get the nap that I wanted, unfortunately. Smeagol is, he might have a urinary tract infection, but he's one of our big cats. He started having problems last night. He's been running to the litter box every 10-15 minutes and going just a little bit. Just gotta monitor him. Sometimes it can be really bad. So we keep an eye on him. He was sleeping in here for about 3 hours, and I came in at the tail end of his nap. And I laid down. I thought I was gonna sleep for like an hour, and he woke me up at like, I don't know, 20 minutes into my nap and wanted to go outside. So I got up. Chris made burgers, had a burger. Looked at the time and said, well, I'm only an hour out. It's like, might as well just go. So I just went. Because it might rain again tonight. And if it does, there will be a storm that comes through. And I'm always worried about losing power in the afternoons at this time of year. So it's better to do what we can while we can, in case the power goes out later. Let's see. I've got all those done. So I've got all my content lists stuff that I do. So it's like, what do I need to record today while I'm live? Oh, I forgot to cut that out last night. Cut that out. I forgot we did the Hunter quest last night, and I did not cut that out as its own episode, which means I also didn't cut the rest of that episode. Maduro said he might be wanting to do dungeons tonight, but I think you have to be level 20, and I'm only level 15. I don't know if I can get there by the time he wants to do dungeons. Double check Discord. We've come across him a couple of times. His Guardian looks pretty badass. He didn't say what time. Alright, I've had dinner. I've got coffee. I've got Frodo inside. Chris is outside with Smeagol and Pippin and everybody. Who's pinging me? Oh, we got today's ranch post went viral on TikTok, it looks like. Holy shit, apparently one of my TikToks went off as well. Oh, it's the Lotro 2024 is just amazing. It's gotten 40,000 views today on TikTok. And it's like, my phone is blowing up apparently. I just got a whole bunch of messages that came through as we were sitting here. A bunch of people arguing, looks like. Yay! And looks like my brother's post has done about 12,000. That's pretty good. Oh, Tales of the Shire just shared something. Let me guys check what this is. What's up, Poteen? By the way, we will be playing Tales of the Shire here on the channel once it goes live. 100%. That's going to be an awesome, cozy crafting. It's going to be fun. Alright, let's get logged in. I don't think I have anything else to check. I should have done that before I went live, but... Oh, well! Oh, now my alarm's going off. This was my nap alarm. Dismiss. Coffee! We are in Bree land. We are going to start the multi-stream off today, everybody, with a video from the stream the other day. Someone had asked about, like, the best type of cosmetic gear to get, the best places for cosmetic gear. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight before we get going, before we start adventuring. Because I had mentioned during that stream that, like, save everything, because everything in this game can be used for cosmetics. So you have your main equipment panel here, and then over on the cosmetic side you have three outfits, sorry, no, you have 3 outfits in total. You have your equipment outfit, outfit 1, and outfit 2, so you get 2 for free. All the other ones, if you want more than those 2 additional outfits, you'll have to unlock them with Lotro points from the Lotro store. But you get all these different, and this is where you can lose so much bag space, because and bank space, because there's genuinely a ton of really interesting and cool looking stuff in this game. So, like, I made myself the other day the dwarf set of gear. We did that on the stream. However, the boots are not. The boots I found from a quest. So I saved the boots from the quest, left them in my inventory. Once I made this set of gear, I was like, ooh, I think these will go well with the boots. I pulled the boots out. Lo and behold, they did go good with the rest of the outfit. Now, this is not the outfit that I want for this character. It's one of many outfits I could potentially get. This is a set of level 15 leather gear that I made myself. So, we've already covered 2 ways that you can get gear. You can get it from questing, or you can get it from crafting. Both of those are going to give you lots of options. The crafting sets will give you things that look the same and match, but then when you're out adventuring in the wild, for the most part, you're going to be coming across bits and pieces that you can mix and match together. There are exceptions to that. We'll get to that in a minute. And then when you're looking at something, oops, I clicked the wrong thing here to open this up and look at it. Here it is. When you open the dressing room up, you'll notice that you can dye things with different colors. And so what you can do here is you can go in and say, well, I like these 6 things that don't match, but I like the way they look together, and let's go in and dye them a different, hang on, I gotta respond to Listelia. Hang on, what do you got? You can dye all your stuff. She was offering to make me a set of gear. Listelia's, we've played with her multiple times off and on in our Lotro community. And we did a tour of her hobbit house, her river hobbit house. We did a tour of that house a few months back. I'm getting sidetracked while I'm recording the movie, guys. Sorry. Dyeing your armor and getting everything the way you want it to look is an option. But going back to what I said about how a lot of the quests... No, Cormac, it's totally me. It's because Listelia caught me live, and so she was asking if I needed any gear stuff crafted. The exceptions are when you get a little bit higher level on the legendary server towards Moria. Angmar, in particular, has a full armor set for each class. That is a gear set that you'll get from running quests in Angmar from, I can't remember the name of the camp, it's the Hillman tribe camp. You get sent there to work on a bunch of book quests, and then, you know, if you look around and do all those quests, you'll start to get all the Angmar gear. And those things have set bonuses on them. Also have a cosmetic look to them, which you may or may not like. But the good thing is that you can override everything in the dressing room. Or not the dressing room, I'm looking at the dressing room. Everything can be done in the outfit area. So you can individually turn components on or off. So you'll see my character right here. You'll see his helmet is being toggled on and off. Shoulder pads on and off. We can scroll a little bit more to see that better. The cape on and off. Not everything can be toggled on and off, but a lot of them can. So if you want to keep your hands bare, if you're going to be using gloves, that's probably a good idea for my character. Actually, let's go ahead and turn those off. If you're a hobbit, you can turn your boots off so that you're running around without your boots. So, quested gear, crafted gear. There's also skirmish gear, and if I'm not mistaken, let's go down here and check out. I don't know if I can check out the vendors yet, because I think you have to be level 20 to start the skirmishes, but I'm not sure if you can look at the skirmish gear beforehand or not. If we can, we're going to show that off really quick, because this is another way to get cosmetic gear. While I'm going, Ted Flake says, I had to jump through hoops to get my account. Been over 10 years. Been over 10 years since I played. Do you think this is worth the 15 bucks? Does the VP server offer that much value over the free-to-play servers? That's a you decision, not a me decision. The value for me is beyond a shadow of a doubt, because I do this for a living, and Lord of the Rings Online gives me great enjoyment and gets the channel great traffic because it's a hot topic right now. But I realize that not everyone does this for a living. I genuinely love Lord of the Rings Online. Every time I play this game, I pony up and pay. I am not a freebie when it comes to this game. I have always, always, always paid a monthly subscription when I come to play. I always play in 3-month to 6-month blocks. I VIP every single time. I prepay for the 3-month blocks. It drops it down from like $15 a month to $10 or $12 a month or something like that. So for me, it is always going to be worth it to pay. Plus you get points, which you can then apply to really cool stuff in the Lotro store, like cosmetics, which we're about to talk about in greater detail after we check out the skirmish camp, because cosmetics are also in the Lotro store. So here at the skirmish camp here outside of Bree, any skirmish camp in the world.
What do you
yes,
need?
I can look. You can go do skirmishes. If you don't know what skirmishes are, they are optional instances that you could run by yourself or with friends, and in return for running them, you get these marks that you can then use, or tokens that you can then use to spend at all these vendors. There are a lot of vendors at the skirmish camp. We're not going to cover all of them. That's another guide. This is just about the fact that you can find cosmetic gear from the skirmish camp. So you could check out the armor sets, and there are tiered sets. So level 20 set, 23 set, 27 set, etc., etc., etc. Obviously you can't get all these sets because we're only going to 50 right now. But there's also a jewelry and cloak NPC. There's somebody around here who does specifically cosmetics. Yeah, this one. This character specifically does cosmetics. So there's a lot of stuff in here. You can check out the well-worn tunic, herdsman waistcoat, cold weather tunic. There's all sorts of things. You can earn this 100% in-game. 100% in-game. If that's not enough and you still want more options for cosmetic gear, you can go into the Lotro store and use your Lotro points to go to the cosmetics tab, and you can find entire sets of gear which cost quite a pretty penny, or you can find individual pieces of gear. And there's cosmetic bundles, avatar bundles, dyes and consumables, housing items. So there's exterior, interior, and writs. So there's all these different things in here. There's also goats and mounts and just all sorts of stuff that allow you to customize the look of your character. So it's really not about whether or not you can find the look for your character. It's where are you going to look, because there's so many options in this game. And then if you really want to go down the rabbit hole of cosmetics, you make a scholar so that you can make your own dyes. And then you're in cosmetic heaven, because you're not only finding all the cool things in the world, you're also dyeing all your own stuff. And dyes can be a pretty penny. I paid, this is a few years ago. I have I can't remember, it's a Rivendell green, I think is maybe what it is. But at the time on Laurelin, when I bought it, like the dyes were going for like 40 gold for a single vial of dye, which was a lot at the time. But there are lots and lots and lots of ways to cosmetically make your character look the way that you want it to look. There's also faction gear sets, which I should have probably mentioned earlier. So like when you get, not even faction quests, but also there's faction quests and when you do the storylines. A good example of this is when you do the Dunedain quests out. It's after Mirkwood, but before Isengard. There's a whole series of quests you do in the forests with the Dunedain as they're traveling south to go to the Paths of the Dead, and, well, all those other places. Anyway, for the films, and you can go with them, and you're doing quests with them, and they're going to meet their Lord Aragorn. And you're traveling along with the Dunedain, and you earn a full. There's 2 different sets, I think, if I remember correctly, that you can get. You choose which one of the sets that you want as you're working your way through the quest line. There are tons and tons and tons of cosmetic options in this game. But yeah, those are just quests, so that goes back to the quest options. Quest options, skirmish camp, anything you find in the game world, anything you craft in the game world, and the cosmetic store. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of options to make your character look how you want. Ted Flag says, is the performance that noticeable? Yep, I did a post. I'll put it in chat here in a minute. Give me 2 seconds. I'll pull it up. I have a post showing the performance. It's called Buttery Smooth as Butter. Buttery Smooth, I think is what the name of the link video is called. Hang on. I'm going to pull it up. Don't ask me to do 3 things at once because I can't. Yeah. The quest is literally called the quest. It's not a quest. It's a video. Rise of Isengard. Yeah, that's a good expansion. Link's up in YouTube. Link is also up in Twitch for everybody. But that shows off the performance, talks about the performance. It is extremely noticeable. There is nothing on the new servers. It's buttery smooth. It's so nice. Because it didn't matter if I was playing on Landreval or Lorelyn. There was always, there's always stuff on the free-to-play servers. Oliver says, just started playing 2 days ago. VOT VIP, have been having a blast. Cormac says, the dark time of me on Landreval with every crafter. Falchion Hawk says, I play for VIP even when I'm not actually playing because when I come back I have a nice trove of Lotro points saved up. I used to, but then I started doing this for a living, so I play way too many games and I don't like to tie up anything in a sub because I sometimes won't play Lotro for 12 to 18 months. But then I always come back and play like 3 months. There's Fudgy Muffin, Lestalia. We were talking about you earlier. I said I did a tour of your River Hobbit house a few months ago. Might have been more like 6 months ago now. It's been a while. I think you might even said you sent me some food and I didn't respond to you, but thank you for the food, Lestalia. Cormac says legendary servers have always been laggy, but somewhat due to them falling off in popularity once they get to Rohan. This one seems pretty good given it's still super popular. Yeah, it's pretty good. Buttery smooth. Oliver says, I'm a complete Lotro noob. Is it true legendary servers start with no expansions? Yes. That's one of the benefits to the legendary servers. Everyone starts at the same place, and there's not this huge level gap that you have to try to overcome to meet everyone else who's been playing for 25 years. I'm lying. It's not been 25 years. It's been 17. But it puts everybody on the same playing field, relatively speaking, because if you're starting now like I just did, everybody else has had a head start. But who cares about them, right? Because 99% of this game is solo play. You only do group content if you want to do group content. So ignore them, play the game, have fun. With landscape difficulty, you can also adjust the difficulty of the game. So do you want it to be solo? Just do it like I do on the base difficulty. You want it to be group based, so you need 3 of your friends to take down rats, bats, bears, and bugs? Then you can crank that landscape difficulty up and have it be like that. It's entirely up to you. It's very flexible in allowing you to play the way you want to play. But yes, everyone is on here, so the economy hasn't been inflated out yet. The flip side to that is we don't have a lot of the quality of life features in terms. There is layering here, but it's not quite as active as, say, World of Warcraft. So you're definitely going to be competing for nodes, as an example. Like if you're going to try to do any sort of prospecting, forget about it. You got to be cutthroat about those mining nodes, because ain't nobody going to let you get to it first. You got to get there and get yours and get gone. There is no being nice when it comes to mining nodes. But you know, all the mobs are freely taggable, so it's doesn't matter who gets what first. It's just if you all tag it, you all get quest credits. So there's no camping. There's none of that old school stuff. There's an instance finder matchmaker, so you can quickly find groups of other people. There's also the looking for fellowship channel. There's lots of different ways to find people if you want to play with other people. But yes, it is always a good time to get in if you're a new player, because everybody else is the lower end of the scrotum pole. GM's Adventure says, my internet's been so laggy, I've been lagging. I know what you feel, man. I live in the middle of nowhere, and I have 2 internet connections because one of them is always being poopy. Corvax says I'm a filthy lifer. Mom plays at White in Minecraft says, evening, what's up? Gotta see how the game is now, says Mum. I played the beta all those years ago. It's a lot of fun. How do you change difficulty, says GM? I did a video about it that's coming out tomorrow morning. Short version is they're in every city center. There's one at the Prancing Pony just outside when you go in. It's called the Hardened Adventurer. And you talk to the Hardened Adventurer, and there are all the different tiers of landscape difficulty that you can choose from. And there's tokens you can earn. You can use those to trade in for things that they have, cosmetic items and stuff. You like that, Fudgy Muffin? The scrotum pole. I totally just came up with that tonight on the fly. It worked, man. Step 1, farm pipeweed. Yes, go make yourself a farmer. I've got a video somewhere on my YouTube channel about becoming a weed farmer in Lord of the Rings Online. Alright. Let's get into the game. I actually need to pay attention now because I recorded the video I needed to record. Oh, Jesus. Everything we have, I think, is down. I wonder if I should sell. Nope, there's a Taylor scroll case. I don't need that. Nope, don't need the metal smith. I wonder. Does anyone remember where you do these faction? Can I do that to the Hunters Guild? Like the broken. I can't remember where those guys are at. Or if there's got to be one in Bree, right? The faction NPCs where you turn in like the mangled swords, short swords. This is one thing I don't remember. I know they're somewhere around here, and I may have to go Google this to figure out where they are. I know there's some guys back here, but I don't know if this is. I don't know if I can turn in.
What can I do for you?
No, this is just to buy stuff. But, however, Master Woodworker, yeah, I can't do that yet. Those are all Master Woodworker recipes. Okay.
What do you need?
Well, I cannot for the life of me remember. Do the harder ones give better rewards? Asked Ted. I think it's just token related. I don't think the gear drops at all. Is the game tab targeting? Asks Wizard Khalifa. It is tab targeting. Yep. It's a lot like World of Warcraft Classic. Task board up by the Boar Fountain. Thank you, Corvac. That's what I was trying to. Hey, there's Maduros. Dude, his Guardian's looking pretty beefy, man. That's what I was talking about with cosmetic gear earlier, guys. Look at that. He's got his cosmetic mount. Like, he is cosmeticed up. Looking good. He was wanting to do dungeons tonight. We'll see. If you don't know who Maduros is a guild officer in our World of Warcraft guild. He's our... I don't know if he's still going to tank. I think he's still tanking. He's been our main tank for like the last... Since we started the World of Warcraft guild. He's been an officer in all of our Lord of the Rings Online guilds. He's been an officer in all of our EQ2 guilds. I think I've known Maduros like... It's got to be 5 or 6 years now. But I didn't start a guild this time on Lotro. I literally just was like, I'm going to go play it by myself because I don't want this to be a distraction because we have World of Warcraft kicking off on next Wednesday or next Thursday. But he's stuck on here. There's a few guild members who are on here, but we're all just sort of doing our own thing. It's just something to do in between while we're winding down towards World of Warcraft. All right, we got to go up to the Boar Fountain, as Korvac said. Dun, 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 dun. Every Monday night is the plan for Lord of the Rings Online, everybody. I may sneak some other afternoon sessions in here from time to time, but Monday nights are the plan. 6 to 8, 5 to 8, something like that, Central Time. Morning streams are No Man's Sky at 11 a.m. Central on YouTube and Twitch, as always, and we will be wrapping that up once World of Warcraft: The War Within hits on the 22nd, doing that for 5 days straight, and then switch it over to Star Wars Outlaws, after which we will be mainstreaming Space Marine 2. So it's going to be a busy, it's going to be a 6-week run of lots of cool games. And then Gamescom is soon. We're going to get release dates for Dragon Age the Veilguard, Shattered Space DLC, Indiana Jones The Great Circle. I may have said that one already. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. What else? Other stuff. It's going to be a very busy fall-winter 2024 for gaming. It's a good time to be gaming. Mom plays Minecraft. Have they done much crafting? I got 2 crafting videos you'll want to watch. Just on YouTube, go to the playlist. And I did a video this morning and a video yesterday about the Lotro crafting here and on Legendary, on Live, etc. You can go check those out. Kel's on too? Did he? I didn't realize Kel snuck on too. Alright, looking for the faction. Am I tripping? There's supposed to be like a bulletin board thing. I don't see it. Am I at the right place? Oh, I may not. There's another fountain. It might be at the other fountain. I don't know that I've ever used it in Bree. I always use. There's one in Osgurth. Yeah, it was. There was Maduros there a second ago. I haven't seen Kel though. I didn't realize Kel was playing as well. No, this is the mission recruiter. I must be missing something up there. Let me go back. I just don't want to sell these things because they're good for faction, and if I can use them to get my faction up with like the Hunter's Lodge or something. But I don't remember if it's Hunter's Lodge or just Men of Bree faction is the thing I don't remember. If I don't see it, I'm going to go Google it. Okay, here's the... I could have sworn Korvac said it was up here. Let me go read up again. I'm not at 4K resolution, Dad Bard. You're standing next to it and waving at me, said Korvac. Jesus, am I high? How high am I? Hang on, I'm looking for you. I wonder if I'm in a different... We should... You know what? I bet we're in a different instance. Well, it says you're waving at me. Jesus. Are you just not in my zone? Here, invite me. I'll invite you. This is hilarious. Oh, gosh darn it. Dude, I swear, yeah, I would have never seen you. Like, how did I miss this? Just not paying attention. Thanks, man. This is what I was looking for. See, this is for Men of Bree, which is a different faction quest. Oh, the map. Well, there's new maps in some places. There's still some old maps. Oliver Shagnasty says, should I worry about crafting at the start or just focus on quests? The video I launched this morning on YouTube literally is that question because somebody asked it in chat the other day. Should I focus on crafting on the Legendary server? I would highly recommend you go watch that video, Oliver. Cry me a river, Dad Bard. Seriously. You don't get to just put a coin in the machine and expect me to hop at your demand. I multi-stream, so I have YouTube chat, I have Twitter chat. You get answered when I get time to answer. I got lots of people to talk to. Jesus. I hit B for bags again. Used to playing Warcraft. Worn swords. Worn sword sheaths. What do I have 10 of? Wet skins. Yep, let's do those. Hang on. That was the skins. What else do we have 10 of? Broken daggers. That's broken hatchets. Thanks, Bull God, for the subscription over on Twitch. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. These might be the ones that are wet furs. I can do that. You can do 5 at once, right? I think it's 5 is all you can do. Blackened filth. It's not that one. Those are hides. I have to do wet skins before I can do that. What's this one? Blackened filth. I can do that one. Dun, 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 dun. I also have 12 mossy carapaces. Yep, I can do that one. That might be all I can do. Now, where do we turn these in? Is it to this guy right here? No, it says deliver the blackened filth to second watcher. Where is he? South, I guess? Oh yeah, that's right, he's standing on the platform.
What do you need? Greetings.
These are
What can
just
I
for
do for
faction,
you?
everybody, but you do get a little bit of XP too.
Greetings.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling! I should have grabbed that when it first popped up, but I didn't see it till I already turned them in, so I lost the turn-ins on those, but you get this one to turn in 10 of those. Herp-a-derp noob! I don't think we have anything else we can turn in at the moment. Can I do broken daggers? I can do broken... Nope, not yet. Matted skins. Nope, that's it. That's all we got. Bull God says, you going to stick with the server or just dabbling? It's only going to be on Monday nights. I got a full docket, so... the way this is working is I'm streaming on Monday nights. I did stream last night because last night was an unexpected thing where I couldn't do the thing I wanted to do because my Xbox controller broke, so I had to get a new one. So last night we did stream, and then I streamed a few days ago when I started. But the schedule is Monday nights from 6 to 8, 5 to 8 Central Time, and that's it. But outside of this, I record episodes from the stream, so I cut things out, reactions, sections, etc. for YouTube Shorts, TikTok Shorts, and for we did the cosmetic video at the beginning of the stream, that'll go out on YouTube as its own video. I've been releasing a crafting video every day, some sort of guide or some sort of tutorial once or twice a day, and then these streams get cut into 30-minute episodes for YouTube. So even though we are multi-streaming, not everybody could tune into a 3 or 4 hour live stream, so I cut them up into 30-minute segments, and there's a whole playlist dedicated to Angmar. So I personally will only be playing on like Mondays, but there will be episodes every single day on YouTube, multiple episodes coming out, and then I might occasionally sneak in, but Wednesday nights and Friday nights I already play, or Saturday nights, excuse me, Wednesdays and Saturdays I play World of Warcraft. I try to keep Tuesdays and Thursdays open for my wife. Fridays I play with my brother and my nephew, and Sunday nights I often play with my brother and my sister-in-law. So I don't have enough hours in the day to play this more than once a week, because my daytime streams are dedicated to a single game at a time. Right now we're doing No Man's Sky. That's going to be World of Warcraft: The War Within here in a few days. Then that becomes Star Wars Outlaws, and then Space Marine 2, and all the games we talked about 30 minutes ago or whatever. So yeah, this is, you could probably consider this just dabbling, but as long as there's an audience turning up and watching the videos, I'll keep doing this for the next, 2-3 months. I usually get 2 months is like the max I'll get out of something before the audience completely gets bored and moves on to other things. So if it goes longer than 2 months, I will be genuinely surprised, but I'll ride the wave as far out as it'll let me, or as far as it'll take me, and then we'll paddle out and find another wave to ride. It'll be something else. You never know what's gonna pop off on YouTube. I do variety streaming, so I play a ton of stuff. Alright, thanks, Korak. I think I want to go check the level of those quests for the Hunter's Lodge, because if I'm of the appropriate level, I'm totally going to bail on the Staddle quests, and I'm going to go do the Hunter's Lodge quests, because I don't have any recollection of those things, because I never do Bree. I always play elves and hobbits. So if there's a series of quests where I can get like cosmetic gear and stuff from the Hunter's Lodge, I think that's what I want to work on tonight. We are multi-streaming on YouTube and Twitch for new viewers, so you get to watch where you prefer, support wherever you like. Thank you very much for those of you who can and do. If you're on Twitch, don't forget the day-to-day is on YouTube, so all the game guides, reaction videos, the stuff I do in between the streams goes up on YouTube. I typically produce videos from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. hourly every day of the week. Sometimes a little less at the weekends, but as a general rule, I have something coming out every hour, on the hour, from 6 a.m. Central till 10 p.m. Central, sorry. Unless I'm sick or something, or if we had an emergency. Sometimes there's stuff that happens at the homestead. I wonder if I should switch over and do a different... I've got some points to spend too. Bosun says, loving the game, got this Sunday after binge watching your recent videos, jumped in, never played it before. I was ready to give another game a shot after 20 years of WoW. Got the Universal Tool, loving the slower pace, I also prefer WoW Classic. Well, then you're going to have fun here. Universal Toolkit for the win. Corvax says I have to make game choices, games are expensive in Canadian dollars. Dude, games are expensive everywhere, like... I was holding out to see if I could get a press copy of Star Wars Outlaws, and it didn't happen anytime, so I was like, fuck it. I went and spent the $120 for the Ultimate Edition, because I like art books. I did the same thing for Starfield, you know. I'm happy to support games, but it's not, you know, even though I do this for a living and it's a tax write-off for me, it still isn't cheap. You know, there are some months I do better than other months. Like, there have been some months where I've spent more than I would like to have spent on games to play for the stream, and then for content. But I am blessed in the sense that between like PS Plus, Game, and Game Pass, those two platforms alone, I get a lot of content from those two subscriptions. Like a lot. A lot of freebies, a lot of first impressions videos come from those two sources. And then GOG, Steam, Epic, they all give away free games all the time. So, but the big ones cost money. Spent like 120 bucks on Starfield. Just did that for Star Wars Outlaws. I don't think it's I think that's too much money. It's too much money for a digital art book, and you know, I know there's a DLC in there, but that's a steep, you know, going from a $70 base price all the way up to just, you know, want a few days head-to-head start access, art book, and a DLC. Here's another, you know, woo, gets expensive, and it's more in other countries because of the inflation, not inflation, exchange rate. Universal Toolkit is the bomb. Yeah, Bull God says, biggest advice they can give on Lotro is enjoy the journey. There is no reason to rush. Oops. Tabbed the wrong one. Alright, I've been just working on determination, fragility, crit rating. Let's do some fidelity. Just so that I can get some, maybe.
Would you do something for
me?
me?
These are way higher level. Never mind, I won't be able to do these. These are level 20 quests.
Might I take a moment
yeah,
of your
small
time?
fellowships.
Might I take a moment of your time?
You know, I should grab these just so that I have them.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Would
I wonder
you do
where
something
these
for
will
me?
go in my quest journal. These are all level 20.
Might I take a moment of
And
your time?
it's like small fellowships stuff.
Would you do something for me?
Those are going under, well, some of them went under. Oh, it's just Men of Bree. So they're all Men of Bree quests. Never mind, I wasn't paying attention. I thought these were Hunting Lodge. I thought there was a difference. I'm good.
Might I take a moment of your time? Would you do something for me?
So these will be things we
I'll
do
speak with you
another
a moment.
day. Because I won't be able to do them tonight. I'm only level 16. What's up, babe? I can call it. You're not gonna you're not gonna come play Lotro with us, huh? Definitely leveling professions along the way. Pax die, yeah, it's there's some interesting ideas there. Not enough for me to want to get involved in it yet. I have to have a much higher standing. I need to be an acquaintance with the Men of Bree. We are not there yet. Oh, one of my auction things went off. Thank you for the food, Fudgy Muffin. I need to go sell. Is one of these guys a merchant I can sell to?
How do you do?
Don't sell the hides. Honestly, let's just go through here and do it this way, because it'll be easier. Ooh, blueberry muffins, a stack of 50. I did love, If you have never done crafting in this game, go do cooking and farming. It's so much fun. Complete Hobbit breakfasts. Decorated heritage rune. Honestly, don't care. We're not going to be doing legendaries anytime soon. I'm not going to do housing. We'll sell the painting. Sell the brews. I don't need them. Sell the boots. Oh, no. Hang on. I need to buy those back. Buy back. Buy back. Buy back. The dirty ears. Where'd those go? Alright. Oh, we've ride. Hang on, I got an ability. What did I get? Precision stance! Yeah, baby! That's my favorite stance of all time. Blue line precision stance is the only way to roll. Got your first Nazgul kill last night. I don't have to dream too much about Nazguls. A bunch of them attacked me last night. I'm assuming the full-blooded ones are... I've only done the ones that you come across in the open world, Fudgy Muffin. I think I've killed 2 or 3, but I don't know if those don't... I don't think those count as like full Nazgul, right? They're like wraiths or something. Because aren't the Nazguls the one where you have to have a ring bearer with you to like get the debuff off of and take out? Oh, we have a new quest up here. Has anybody come across any of the big ones yet?
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
Oh, that's for the housing. I'm not gonna care about that quest. We might turn it in, but I'm not doing housing here. So that was last night. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
What do you
5
need?
million health. Woof. That's a little bit of a better cloak. Still not that great. I wish I could use spears as a hunter.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Bring the report to Second Watcher Heathstrong. Back down the road. You haven't heard of any? They start at 45. Hey Chris, I have a question for you. Can you come read this and tell me should I answer this?
Okay.
No, seriously, I want your opinion. Should I answer that sincerely? No? Okay. All right. Can I say anything? You're right, you're right. Alright. Alright. Solo importa a las personas como compañías que quieren contratar, no una persona en YouTube, ¿no? So, allá yo puedo decir, sí, absolutamente, aquí son las papeles y... Ok. I have something up here to turn in. Not sure what. It's raids of mobs attacking them. Nice.
What can I do for you?
Report from Staddle. Oh, I forgot to track prospecting and stuff. I probably need to go, well, we're not to the Borrow Iron yet, so I don't need to worry about it.
Oh, woe is me.
Take the remedy to Gar and let him drink it. Alright, that was from the pup quest last night. Let's untrack. Where did it go? Special. Untrack that. Untrack that shiznizzle. Nope, let's go back over here. Que bueno, es excelente hablar otro idioma, ¿no? Right. This is the doggy. We're going to give some medicine to the puppers. Gar sniffs at the herbal remedy and then laps some of it up. He slowly drinks the rest of the mixture, and then Longo looks at you expectantly.
It's terrible. Just terrible.
Nice! So we healed the puppers. What do those gloves look like? They're not bad. I don't really ever wear gloves on this character, though, because he's an archer, so... Those aren't bad. I will take those.
Might I trouble you for some help?
Nah, I'm not hooked. It's one night a week.
Could I take a moment?
The nice thing about where I'm at right now is Lotro was an unexpected traffic boost, which was cool. But I'm also blessed in the sense that I can't accommodate anymore. It gets a limited window slot on Monday nights, and that's it. I've never been unhooked from this game. I love it. This is one, along with Star Wars: The Old Republic, I will play these all the way until the sunset.
Is there something I can do for
Mango
you?
thinks the well is poisoned?
Please, stay a moment.
Draw water from the Staddle Town well. Todos que hablan español levantan sus manos. There's the town well. Carrying water. Run like the wind. They need to do a... It would be really cool if they did a legendary server or some sort of progression server for Lord of the Rings Online. That's about the only reason I would ever put characters on a new server, because they have the legacy system, so I would never want to move away from the legacy system. It took years to level up legacies. I would not want to give that up. So, but if they did a legacy server slash progression server, legendary server type thing for Star Wars: The Republic, I would do that in a heartbeat. I would have no problems being like, hey, you know what, guys? We're going to make this a thing. We're spinning up a community guild. We're going to go do this on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Chris can have Mondays. I love Star Wars: The Republic, and they've never done a progression server for them. I cannot bear to see evil done to good folk such as the hobbits of the Staddle. Sorry.
What can I do for you?
This water smells most foul. Tell me, man, why have you brought it to me?
You may be of service to me.
Bring me handfuls of the wildflowers that grow near the yellow trees southwest of here. Let's take out all the boars and stuff. Poor little brown fox. You're not blocked, Marzakeen. You're just imagining stuff because you want to be offended over something. I see your chat just fine. I don't answer every single comment that comes through. Some I do, some I don't. Oh no, there's a wraith. We're gonna run. Run away! This is how you survive wraiths, everybody. You run. You run like a little chicken. Unless there's other people with you, and then you can turn around and face it. I do not waste my time trying to solo them. I want my title. Did you just spawn another one? Never mind. I thought it flashed and I was like, no! We got this, buddy. We got it. Come on. No, 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 no. You shoot. Yeah, buddy. I was just saved by Glorfindel. How did he get that name? Like, how did he... That is hilarious. So, the spelling, obviously. Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. Good luck with that, sir. Oh. Very good one. Alright, we need flowers or something from the yellow tree. Hang on, I'm also needing sickle flies, so... While I'm over here. I probably went too far for the flowers. I need to pay attention where I was going. Blue line bear. I don't want to do... I'm on easy difficulty. I'm very content with that. Yellow flowers. Fresh flowers. Oh, yeah, I totally overshot the flowers. Let's go back. It was a tiny little spot back there. I didn't even notice that. Like right up in here. Yep. Alright, here we are. We've had a really good run. Like, we haven't had anybody for the last couple of weeks. We've had a couple of rather demanding people tonight. The one guy on Twitch earlier.
You took 20 minutes to answer my question. You made me wait 10 minutes before I could chat, and then you waited 20 minutes to answer.
Dude, I love that because when it happens, it's like there are some people out there who think you're a jukebox and they can just like plug and play, and it's like, no, not how it works. At some point we're gonna have to go back and do some more crafting because I gotta finish up the light hides tier. It's moving pretty quick. It's moving a lot quicker than I thought it would. This would take just a moment. Water was indeed poisoned, but the blossoms of these wildflowers would drive it all away.
Greetings, friend.
Do
Will
those
you
leather
lend me
pants look
your
good?
ear?
Ooh, they do look kind of good. Oh, I'm gonna switch to... Oh, they even have like a knife sheath. Or maybe that's not a knife sheath. There's one on each side. I'm definitely gonna switch to those pants when I get them. Return this bucket to Staddle and pour its contents into the well. Oops, I gotta pick it up. Don't forget to pick it up. Oops. Tree. The wraiths have different names, says Bullgod. The ones you spawn are pretty easy. The ones you find walking around are much harder. Gotcha. Oliver Sanger says, this is a great comment. Actually, I'm gonna wait to answer your comment until I'm back to the safety of town, Oliver, because that's a video I can record and cut out for YouTube. I have Angmar. My main characters are on Landroval. The last time we played there, however, I did earlier this year, and no, it might have been earlier this year. Shit, I don't think it was. I think it might have been last year. I think it's my Ranger and Rohan series, which was an episodic series I did here on YouTube. That's been a few years ago though, because I think the last thing I played was my Lore Master. My Lore Master's on Laurelin. But I do have a main character on Landroval who I've played many, many times over the years. To the water, go to the pure... There we go. Just took a minute for it to update that we were at the well.
It's terrible.
You just put the dirty water back into the well? Wait, the water's sweet. Hold that thought. We have some new pants, which I am immediately going to turn into a cosmetic pair. Cosmetic outfit 1 is the one we're wearing. Let's switch these pants out. Oh yeah, I just need a different BP now. I need some sort of a breastplate. I might have to go shopping somewhere soon. Start worrying about the cosmetics on this. Alright, Oliver, give me a second. I'm going to timestamp this. Angmar says, I was Aragorn and the Lonely Mountain Man. Nice. Off to bed, says Mum. Plays Minecraft. See ya, Mum. Thanks for tuning in. timestamping this. 1. Alright, so this is a fun one to clip out. This is a really good question. So, Oliver Shagnasty says, I won't lie guys, I'm kind of overwhelmed by the size of the map. I'm just chilling in Come doing quests. So, please do that. Everywhere you go, chill and do quests. Because the one thing this game does very, very well is these areas, especially as you get later into the game, this becomes more and more true. But each area in this game is extremely handcrafted. There's no procedural content here. This is back in the day when they had to make all the assets and put it all together by hand, write all the lore out. You know, there's no AI doing the dialogue for them. There are just everywhere you go, you will find really well-written quests, and every single area in the game is going to feel very confined in the sense that all the quests you do in that area are going to be very local to that area. And then as you get deeper out, here's the thing. There are lots of different ways you can go. None of them are wrong. And the best part about this is if you end up liking the game enough, you'll come back and play alternate characters doing different things and taking different paths. The exception to that will be like the book quests. The book quests are always going to be the same. And those ones lead you on a very defined path through Middle-earth, right? And you're following along with the Fellowship. That's a very deliberate, very linear path, but you don't have to follow that path if you don't want to. But I do want to talk about this because I did this a couple years back for the Lotro tourism show. This is a big fucking game. It's 17 years old. They have added I hear there are some people out there who will be like, I really don't like how Lord of the Rings Online doesn't let you buy an all-in-one expansion pack and they make you buy each one individually and they're nickel and diming you and all this stuff. They deserve to get paid. They've given you 17 years worth of content. I have no problems with the way they charge money for their game because all of this stuff is handcrafted, which you're not going to find from big companies like who are using procedural content. Like this is built by people and it's like a craft beer or a good hamburger. You're going to pay more for it, right? It's a big, everything you read in the books, everything you've read in the books, you can go to and see and touch and whatever in this game. If you've seen it in the books or read it in the books, you can go to it. It is a massive, massive game. And it can feel very overwhelming. But don't do anything other than what you're doing right now, which is chilling in Come doing quests. Clear an area. Move off, clear another area. Yes, you might overlevel out of an area, and they might be gray quests, but I promise you, they're still worth doing. If not for the story, then for the cosmetic gear that you're going to get out of those quests. Because there's so much cool stuff in this game to see and explore and do, and you won't see it if you try to rush or beeline. So let's just talk about that again. How big it is, and the fact that everything in the books, right? So if you haven't picked up the quest yet, and you get the quest to go, it's Bingo Boffin, I think is the quest, or the name of the NPC. Bingo Boffin, you'll get a quest at some point in the mail to go talk to him. Highly recommend doing that, because he takes an independent journey that sort of follows in the footsteps of other characters, right? And he has his own adventure, and you can earn maps that you can put on the wall of your house as you follow him from zone to zone. But the other thing, which this is what I did several years ago, it's been like 3-4 years ago now when I did the Lotro tourism show. I literally started off in Delving, here in the Shire, and we started characters, and we followed the Fellowship from the Shire, and all of these locations that are found in The Hobbit and in the Lord of the Rings books, we went and visited. You know, so we obviously went to Delving, went to Tuckborough, went to Hobbiton, to Bywater. You got to go to the different taverns along the way. the Green Dragon, you got to go there, working your way through to Stock, to Breeland, crossing the ford, going over into Buckland. How do I get to the Buckland map? Well, I don't remember, I can't actually click on the Buckland map here for some odd reason. But here in this area, you can go down into Buckland, you can cross through there, you can go into the Old Forest. From the Old Forest, you go into the Barrow Downs. From the Barrow Downs, you're in Breeland. Breeland, you go through the Midwater Marsh, you get to the Lone Lands. From the Lone Lands, we get to go to Weathertop. There's the Forsaken Inn. From there, you're passing through into the Trollshaws. And from the Trollshaws, you're going through and you're going to Telbrunnen, and you're crossing the gorges in the forge, or not the forge, the ford, and then you get up to North Trollshaws, and you get up over here into the High Moor and the Giant Valley, and then you get to Rivendell, and Rivendell's freaking amazing. And then there's the Misty Mountains, and then there's going into the Goblin City and finding Gollum's Cave. Like, I have an episode I linked the other day to the chat, like going in and finding Gollum's Cave in there, and that's just like going back to the Trollshaws. I doubt I have it on this character because I haven't been there. They've changed this map since the last time I was here. In the Trollshaws, I think it's around here somewhere, are the 3 trolls that are turned to stone from The Hobbit. So like, this is a big game. I've just showed you like multiple zones, right? So everything we're playing right now in the level 1 to 50 game, which is, what is this, Shadows of Angmar, and Siege, I always forget what it's called, it's been so long. The base game, which is level 1 to 50, that all takes place here in Eriador. So, Eriador is everything essentially west of the Misty Mountains. So all of this is what you get to play in the level 1 to 50. You're going to come to hate this place a lot. Farokel, however you want to pronounce it. You're going to learn to hate that place. Each one of these areas is, you know, quest hubs and lots of story in condensed areas. So you'll find a quest hub and you'll do quests forever. A good example of this is the North Downs, which is one of my favorite. It's not my favorite. Trollshaws is my favorite zone in the game. I love the North Downs, especially when you get to Esseldin, which is this town over here. It's a ranger town. It's a Dunedain town. And you have there are so many quests. You start off in Trestlebridge. You do all of these quests. There's hubs all along the way. There's Fornost, which is a huge dungeon that you can do in different instances now. Then you just follow the path east and you're doing quests over here. And then you get to Esseldin and you're doing quests all up and down the road and for everybody and for the dwarves, the elves, and the men. And then you go on the east side and you're in through Nan Umlug East and the Dol Didden and the craziness that's down there. I mean, this is all just a level 1 to 50, right? But then now let's look at what's beyond that. Then you say Moria comes. Okay, so now we get Eregion, which in and of itself is an amazing zone where you see the world building team take a leap forward. It's a jump forward in terms of the way the game looks compared to the base game because they'd had some experience under their belt at this point. And this is sort of the pre-stuff leading up to Moria. And then you get into Moria, and it's outside of like Wrath of the Lich King and Plains of Power for EverQuest 1, the Mines of Moria is my favorite expansion in an MMORPG. It's in my top 3 of all time. This expansion is amazing. The Mines of Moria are wickedly epic and terrifying if you do the dungeons with a group. And it's huge. The last time we went through this, we did it on Landroval. This is probably 5-6 years ago at this point. My brother, myself, I think Maduros was with us at that point in time. Rack was with us, Rack checked in a couple nights ago. We hadn't seen him in a little bit. And I can't remember who else we had. We had a group of 6, and we went through. It took us 3 months to get through Moria, and we were playing like 3-4 nights a week. 3 months to get through here. When we finally broke through to the other side, and we saw sunlight and Lothlorien ahead of us, it was like, oh my god! I can see the light of day! This is amazing! Because after 3 months in the dark, you were feeling it, man. But then you go from Moria, and we go and say, okay, well now we're into Lothlorien. Well, and then from Lothlorien, now we're working our way down. And so Mirkwood we'll talk about later because that came later, but you can go to Mirkwood. There's Northern Mirkwood, Southern Mirkwood. That's the expansion after Lothlorien. So you do Lothlorien, and then you get to come into Mirkwood. And Mirkwood has its own places and series of quests. And then you work your way south from Mirkwood. And it's been a long time since I've done this, but I think you work your way to Isengard next, which is on the way. So you end up down in Isengard. And there's a whole series of quests in Isengard, which the storyline is really cool, but there's so much running around. It's kind of like, but it's really cool. And you get to meet like Wormtongue and Saruman in this whole section. And right before this is when you're working with the Dunedain in the woods for a few weeks, and you earn their sets of armor, and it's so cool. And then you're in Dunland, and Dunland is when you start the Rohan content. And for me, for my money, Rohan is like it's one of the best parts of Lord of the Rings Online. They had a bigger budget. They had like all of the Theoden, Éomer, Éowyn, Gandalf, Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas stuff is all like fully voice acted in the cutscenes here. When Theoden gets to see the Ents for the first time, it's just like it is from the books. Like it's, and Rohan is freaking huge. Go back over here. I gotta get back to the map. Rohan. Rohan is a big place. You've got Edoras, you've got Fanghorn. Oh, by the way, Fanghorn Forest is frickin' wicked. You get to do some fun quests in there with the Ents. But all of these, Westfold, Stonedan, Broadacres, these are all areas. And each one of these places, Osserley, Torsbury, Stoke, etc., they all have quest hubs. And each quest hub has an independent story that's taking place. And then there's the overarching story, which is related to the book quest. So, I'm rambling because there's Rohan, and then once you get through with Rohan, you go to Gondor. And there's Western Gondor, Central Gondor, and Eastern Gondor. There's Far Anorion, Old Anorion, all this amazing stuff here. So you zoom in here, same thing. Each one of these places has quest hubs, some of them bigger than others. And then you get to Eastern Gondor, and then I'm in the farthest I have ever gotten, despite the fact that I've played this game since launch. I'm in Osgiliath right now with my lore master. It was the last time I played regularly. I'm searching for Faramir right outside the gates of Minas Tirith. It's war. There's smoke and orcs and trolls and everything everywhere. It's terrifying. It's a lot of fun. Then there's Minas Tirith. If you get to do the Midsummer's quest at some point, where you get to go, you could go to the quest where Aragorn and Arwen get married. It's so cool. That quest line is so cool. You can go there independent of whether you've been to Minas Tirith or not. You can just go participate in the event. Then you get into Mordor, right? And that's, taking the ring to Mordor time. I've never done any of the Mordor content, and I own it. Never done it. One day I'll get to it. I have Altitis in this game, so going back to the original question of overwhelmed by the size of the map, I'm just chilling in Come doing quests. One of the reasons I've never gotten to Mordor or had a max level character is because I get sidetracked chilling in zones just doing quests, because every place you go has really, really cool quests, and the game is so frickin' big that it's impossible to do it all in one character. And even after you have 20 alts like I do, you still might not have seen it all, even though you might have repeated some stuff a few times. It's a really, really, really big game. And hopefully that doesn't make you fear the game. It's very big, but just take your time. It's not going anywhere. It's good to go, man. Liam says, Lotro is a passion project for these developers. Yeah. It's not WoW where you max it out in a day. Correct. The cloak rack? Yeah, the cloak rack is a reward from Bingo Boffin, as Fudgy Muffin says. Oliver says that sounds so freaking awesome. It is awesome. It's why this game is still my favorite MMORPG of all time. I don't main it, but I love it. 2 days is the Harvest Festival, says Fudgy Muffin. Pub crawls? Yep, people do pub crawls. Oh, Anumimus, yeah. Anuminus? I always forget how to pronounce it. You're on the hunt for Buckleberry Ferry? It is there. It's, I think on the western side of the river, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Fudgy Muffin loves Farakel. I'm not a big fan of that. It's big, open, snowy spaces, and you have to run around so much. Victoria says, I love this game. Keep getting stuck on class section. Everything's left to level 20, and I can't pick. Bullgut says can't. Oh yeah, can't wait for the horse combat and Rohan. Yeah, that's something else. Like you get to do horse combat, mounted combat later on. Yeah, horse combat and Rohan without lag. Holy shit, that's a concept, isn't it? Wow, I hadn't even thought about that. That was so annoying. Like I just avoided horse combat if I could. It's just never my favorite, partly because of that. No, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Good questions like that, because those are always things I get to pull out and put up as a YouTube video later. So I'm always happy to find topics that are in line with what we're working on. I'm going to check a couple things before we go any further. I love someone's comment over here on my No Man's Sky video about the glyphs. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Alright, let's see what else we can get up to. We still need to do the sicklefly wings. I did see it, Fuzzy. I just forgot to answer. Thank you. I will let you know. Alright. I know we have a book quest over there, but I was trying to avoid the book quest until I had cleared 100% of the world quests, and then we'll go do the book quest.
Copper! Fucking copper, man. Grab the copper.
Oh, you know, if you're gonna growl at me, Mr. Bear, you're going down. Don't growl at me. I'm a hunter. I'm your boss. Gamescon is when? In like, isn't it the I need to check the dates on that and block that out on my calendar to make sure that I'm available for live streams, because we're going to do a ton of reaction videos. Matter of fact, the Stalker 2 devs did a 30-minute Q&A today for Xbox. I've not yet watched it. I bookmarked it. That's going to be what I do first thing tomorrow morning, is I'm going to get up and watch that and do a reaction video to it. So stay tuned for that. We're supposed to get a ton of new info. Oh shit! Run! 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 I'm not risking my title. I am playing a Blue Line Hunter, yep. Matter of fact, you guys just remind me, I have points I need to go spend. Like a bunch of points. I got 5 points to blow here. Let's get that ranked up. You're, Yeah, I'll take the speed buff. I'm not suffering from any lack of damage. Barbed hindrance damage is now increased on my barbed attacks. But I am jonesing for my lore master, not gonna lie. Like, I do love the hunter, and this is the one everybody voted on, so this is the primary objective. But I think at some point, if this persists, I might make a lore master ult. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, you gold. You know, this is an unintended side effect that I've kind of rather enjoyed. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna stroke my ego here for a second. So when you're on World of Warcraft, as an example, I'm on Moonguard. World of Warcraft has millions and millions and millions of players. I am a nameless entity in a sea of streamers who have been streaming for decades in that game. And, you know, like Soda Poppin' and Asmongold, and like, my videos getting 300 to 500 views for World of Warcraft is like nothing. And, but on this, because there's only one server and our videos happen to be popping off, I've been getting like 3 or 4 people, half a dozen a couple of times, who've been like jumping on the streams and being like, hey man, thanks for the videos, or sending me tells and stuff, which is awesome. Like, it's like you're a known entity. But I've also been producing content for Lotro for a very long time. On, but it's not gonna lie, makes you feel good. As long as you're not creepy about it. Now that I said that, I'm gonna start getting some really nasty tells, probably. Thankfully, my head covers up most of those. Alright, I should track the midge flies. I think I need one more, or at least one more wing. Nothing. Greater sickle flies point me in this direction. I sure don't see one. Alright, what do we got over here? That's a Neeker Breaker. Neeker. Show me your sickle flies. Victoria says it started as a Bjorn and the Wraith things were easy. It was an eye-opener when I switched to Lore Master. Every class has got its strengths and weaknesses. I would not want to face a Wraith solo. I've like, even the little ones. Like, I've kind of like dinked around with them, and I'm not gonna be able to kill one on my own. So I run away, and if there's other players nearby, I'll find one. Excuse me. So I run away because I want that title, like Mikkel just said. I want my level, you know, the Undeath title. I'm not going to risk it for a couple of tokens. Oh, you know what I forgot to buy? I need to go buy some fire oil to make my fire arrows. Okay. What's... Oh, never mind. I was like, what is still attacking me? Dude, I still have something on me. What the heck? Oh, did we train something? I see something on the map over there. They're coming. Maybe not. Definitely got combat music. Screw it, let's just run this way. Maybe it'll break whatever it is. Minstrels are fun. Just as I've had them spawn in instance quests where you can't run away and died. That would suck. I don't think they're supposed to spawn in instances. We're definitely bugged in combat right now. Because it ain't breaking. Oh, somebody got that. Boo! There it goes. Pretty sure they wrote in the patch notes that they're not supposed to spawn in personal instances.
What can I do for you?
Alright, let's check the chest.
What do you need?
Is that hat? What's it look like? Probably something nasty and horrific. Oh my god! I would never wear that hat in a million years. Not on this character anyway. Maybe if I wanted to create like an old Radagast type character. Pass. That axe is kind of weak looking, but I'll take it. My reputation with the men of Bree just increased. I bet I could go log into the I bet I can log into the Hunter's Lodge now.
It is as I feared, Renfail. If the goblins have already spread so far throughout the Bridgewater marches, they intend to stay. If it were not for the spider infestation of the ruins in the northern stretch of the marches, I would expect the goblins to seize those as well.
Alright, I need to defeat some sappers.
The threat of fire!
Oh, can those be found all over? Maybe I need to read the quest journal. I guess maybe those can spawn anywhere in the area. You got 3 of them in the instance where you escort the little old lady? Sarah Oakheart! Sarah! Sarah Oakheart, my dear! Alright, I don't see any sappers in here. There's one. Plus side, I probably need these for a deed, so nothing wrong with killing some gobbies. Back in my day, we didn't have all these modern necessities. We used to call Evendom Everswim because, well, you just had to swim a lot. Nowadays, y'all got a boat. You can move around all fast like. You don't know how good you got it. Who did we? Oh no! Wreath! Wreath! Run! Mommy! Alright, once I ditch the Wraith. Oh, I lost them all. That guy was for a quest, I think. I remember doing this quest. I like my Beastmaster, Lore Master. That's my favorite. That's my preferred method to play the Lore Master. Come on, buddy. Pitch in. Yeah. I just cleared all these, so they're all gone. These are not goblins. Oh, are you attacking me anyway? You haven't been in this game a week and Sarah Oakhart's already a well-known name to you? Yeah, she's very important to the questline of the Angmar part of the game. I mean, the water definitely looks good for its time. They've done a good job of updating over the years. For an older MMO, yeah, it looks pretty good. Excuse me. Alright, I need one more Sapper after this. I think there's one right there. Nope, that's a warrior. There it is. Okay. Back to talk to Bill Morsfoot. You've dealt with the goblins. Well done. Goblins are still a threat, but now they should be easier to deal with. You have my thanks and some more coin for your trouble. We have now cleared 100% of these quests. Which means we are now ready to do the book quest. Uncle Sweeten said I had a wraith spawn at me at this pot. I dove into the water since the wraith can't swim in the movies, but my plan didn't work out. It still got you. Well, as long as you're not hearing murlocs in your sleep when you're drowning to the Nazgul. Alright, we have the epic book quest we can work on now. Hang on. Ran right past the copper node. Don't do that. Another one over here. And they're gonna get it.
First come, first serve. Sucks to be you. I'm a dick.
They'll probably send me a town and be like,
You asshole! I was killing towards it.
yep, been there 5 billion times, buddy. It is first come, first served on new servers. I am not going to play nice about copper deposits. That's why World of Warcraft does individual instance nodes, so that they got rid of this problem. That is a quality of life thing that is easily fixed. But then that adds to inflation problems, and you never know. They were all killing their mob, like running towards it, like, I'm gonna get the node, and I'm like, I mean, they might have been moving on to other things, but dude, stepping on rakes is no fun. One of the things that's different about Legendary here, too, is these quests, they instantly teleport you to them, but now on Legendary you have to actually run to the caves and stuff. So you actually have to take the time to run out here. Here's Mundle.
Delay not. It is too late for me. Amdur arrived ahead of you. He must be stopped. The Nine must not take him. Please, there is but one of my kin in the Midgewater Marches. Menelin is his name. A young scholar. He was not...
It's just... I just said scholar like I was from Boston. That was totally not intentional. A young scholar. A young scholar, my kind. Whatever. New York, Boston. We'll do lots of different accents here. Get to him quickly. He's gone to study the ruins of the old Marshwater Fort at the center of the marshes. You must tell him, warn him to beware Amdir's scream. Scholar. Scholar, my kind. Beware his scream. Farfruffle says, I ended up rolling a River Hobbit. It's good to be back, but the River Hobbit starting area is a nightmare to get your bearings. I have not done the River Hobbit starting area. I'm totally going to do it just to get an episode about that. When I did the Yondershire at one point a couple years back. Had a lot of fun with that. I would love to play as... I'll probably do as... what do you call it? Mariner. I want to try the Mariner class. Now, Turnabout would be somebody running up here and looting that copper node while I'm standing next to it. Hey, I would say nothing. I would not complain one little iota. It's first come, first served on crafting nodes. They're not marked. Just got your horse, says Metro. Nice. The horse is an important moment. And now, you can go spend all of your Lotro points on getting faster mount speed. Hashtag worth it. Do we have to go in the door behind the Spider Queen? Oh, shiznizzle, I fell.
Amdir, quickly falling into the shadows of the Wraith World, has slain 2 of his brethren already, and seeks the blood of a 3rd.
So, don't get stabbed by a Morgul blade, kids. That's what the moral of this story is.
Greetings.
Tortoise and Mundell have both perished. This is almost beyond belief. I was sent here to keep watch after the Nazgul drove us from the Shire, but now it appears my watch has been for naught. We must go at once to the chief of my kindred. The Bree men call him Strider. There is a quicker path than the one you took to the safety of Bree. Follow me, and I will lead you through the caves beneath the marches. I forgot about this quest, guys. This is a really fun quest. To a ranger's aid. This is a fun one. I'm going to time start this. Time stamp, not time start. 149.
This is a really fun quest. So we're not going to go overland. We're going back to Bree. Through the caves beneath the marches. And it is not a safe journey, ladies and gentlemen.
This way, hurry! Did the water stifle these flames?
Two rangers side by side, kicking ass and taking names. I love his outfit. I would love to have his outfit. I really want his outfit, damn it. The Dunedain have some of the best costumes in the game.
I just lit these torches yesterday.
So, something has doused the torches down in here. Something other than the damp. Oh, hello, hello. Multi-shot. Boom! But yeah, bitches! Never trust deep dark caves, kids.
Let me see to this darkness before us. Did you hear something?
Oh no! It's Amdir in all his skull glory.
Amdir, my friend, I know it's not really you that does these things.
I am not what you once believed.
Yes, yes you are. Let me help you.
Never!
No!
Morin will deal with you.
Oh, giant fucking spider! No! In true Tolkien fashion.
What do you need?
Amdir is running free. Go at once. Find Strider and Bree. He is my chieftain and should be made aware of all that has happened. Talk to Baldur Butterbird, the prancing pony. He will know where Aragorn is. Take the door. You will find yourself on the western edge of the washes. Go west along the road to Bree.
Corpse of Renioland. Shit, man. That's not good.
Saruman's treachery has delayed me too long. I can only hope that Frodo and Sam have left the Shire. Without my aid, their road will be a perilous one. Frodo must rely upon the Rangers and your prowess to see him to the end.
This is why I love this game, because I love the books. And so being able to come in here and interact with Rangers and the dangers and Aragorn, what? Strider, I get to go meet Strider and talk to Strider and do stuff with Strider. How cool is this? I've always had great excitement for this game, great enthusiasm. Perfect Blue 92 asks on Twitch, I just started a dwarf character. Where can I learn prospecting? If you follow the quest lines, you will eventually, as you go through the tutorial, you will eventually meet up with an NPC who will guide you to where you need to go for all of the questing. You will get a questing starter quest for crafting. And that starter quest for crafting will lead you where you need to go, and you will then find the NPC where you can train. We need to go around here. And then you can train prospecting. And I just put up a video yesterday on the new crafting system, if you need information on that. It's over on YouTube in the playlist. And we did another video today talking about, is crafting worth it to do on the legendary servers? Yes or no? That was a question we answered from a stream we did a couple days ago. We've clipped 2 videos out today. So anytime people ask good questions, we tend to cut those out of the live streams and put those up as an individual episode. We have multiple quests to talk to Baldur Butterbird and eventually Strider, but for now, Hang on. What was this quest as I ran right past it? Runner Stout.
Stay and hear me out.
Huh, I must have missed that quest somehow. It's all good. I was talking about this, I think, yesterday. I think this will be the one character. I'm not going to do my normal questing run where I just do book quests. I'm just going to go pick a cool place to level. We're just going to go do it there. And I'll worry about book quests once I make it to Rivendell. But I think I'll just ignore all the ones before that. Alright, here's Barlemon Butterbur. The quest is Forward an Unwanted Guest. Hang on. Is that the right quest? No. Prologue to a Ranger's Aid. I gotta turn this one in first. Well now, what can I do for you today? What do the shoulder pads look like? Doggy do. I will take the sword, please. So many people coming and going these days. There's one guest, though, one I'd rather do without. Coin keeps a room, and he comes with coin enough to pay a bill. Brooding sort, likes the darker corners of the inn, speaks to no one. Most people are a bit afeard of his ilk. Barlemon lowers his voice. He's one of them rangers, he is. Calls himself Strider. From the common room, turn left down the hall. Keep on until you can only go right. Follow straight down that hall until you're at the foot of the stairs. Strider's in the room to the right of those stairs. And they did a really good job with his avatar. Strider's room. The enemy is on the move. All should be prepared for the dark days ahead. Forward, an unwanted guest. Your tidings
are grim.
Forgot he had a voiceover there. Well, the black wolves have been broken. Amder's escape bodes ill. He must be stopped before it is too late.
There was little time to waste.
The Dowerhand's lord fled to Breeland after his defeat, not by mere chance. I see the hand of the captain of the Nine in all of these affairs, in the West, in the Shire, and in Breeland. We must unravel the thread of his plans, and I believe I know how. To the east of Bree, there is a Blackwolf camp which my men have been watching closely. A shadow has recently spread across the camp, but I believe it is here that Amder is gone, and his dwarf lord as well. We must go, and there we must end Amder's life, if he can still be called living. We will wait for nightfall and then make our move against the Blackwolves. Speak with me again when you are ready to depart. I freaking love this game. Really cool stuff. The Cloak of Cardlin, no. Gloves? Eh. Before we do that, nah, we're good. I think I'm bound at the Prancing Pony, right? Yes, I is. Do I have a favorite in-game pub? No. Never really gotten into that. I've done some pub crawls, but I've never really... I mean, probably the Eagle and the Child in... It's not called the Eagle and the Child, is it? In Mickle Delving? Because that's named after the tavern. If I had to pick one, I'd pick that one. Because that's... It's I can't remember what it's called in the game, but it's named after the Eagle and the Child. The Bird and the Bastard. The tavern where Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and all the Inklings used to meet in Oxford. Which I have been to. That was the first trip I took abroad when I was 19 years old. I went to England. Went and saw Fatboy Slim at a rave downtown London. Went to Stonehenge. Went out to Oxford. Went to Tolkien's grave. Went to the tavern. That was a transformational trip for me as a 19-year-old kid. It instilled in me a love of travel and made me realize that my desire to be a writer inspired by Tolkien and C.S. Lewis was definitely what I wanted to do. And then I pursued that goal, and I achieved that goal. I have over 20 million words in print. It was something I really enjoy. And it is what I plan on doing full-time once I'm retired. Right now, I'm pushing YouTube as far as it'll go, YouTube and Twitch. We've talked about this. For those of you who might be new, though, I'm 44. My objective is we own this place. We're saving up for a mountain home next. And our objective is to be completely done over the next 5 to 6 years with all the things you have to do to earn a living. And then I'm just going to be retired, and I'm going to write fantasy and science fiction for the rest of my life. That is the objective. What are my thoughts on Stone of the Tortoise? Isn't that the one that turns off the XP, Arger? I think it is, because you just asked about, would you recommend using it versus just doing the quest areas when they go gray? That's another clippable video, sir. Hold that thought, we'll answer that in great detail. Alright, so Arger asked over on YouTube, what are your thoughts on the Stone of the Tortoise? There's so much enjoyable content in this game that it's easy to outlevel the zones and areas, so would you recommend using it versus, when would you recommend to use it versus just doing the quests and areas when they go gray? So my take on this is probably going to be different than what a lot of people would tell you. I've played this game since it started. I have 2 accounts. I have a lot of characters. I've done the content when it was hard back in the day. I have no desire to play the game on hard mode ever again. I don't mess with landscape difficulty. I don't give a shit about instances, dungeons. I'll do them for quests, like if I have to, but like I love the fact that they gave you the stone buff to be able to go do the book quest on your own so that you don't have to, you know, try to find other people. I have done it multiple times over the years with friends. I have great fun doing it with friends, but sometimes I just want to play the game and immerse myself in Middle Earth. Think of it like creative mode for Minecraft, or Enshrouded, or No Man's Sky, right? And when you're playing creative mode, you don't want to have to deal with combat. You don't want to have to deal with, you know, stuff that takes you away from the cozy, chill factor of the game. So for some people, the idea of doing quests when they're gray, who cares, right? It's questline. You're doing it for story. So I don't care if I'm level 60 running pies around the Shire, because I'm having fun. And so for me, I focus on the story of the game. So that's my take on it. However, there are some people who lament the fact that MMOs like this have gone easy mode, and they want the hardcore challenge of yesteryear, and they want the forced group content. You know, it's the 50... there's 50 or 100 people who really want that hardcore experience, right? And so you can have that by using, if that's the reasoning behind it. There might be other reasons. I'm giving an exaggerated example for the sake of entertainment. Using the Stone of the Tortoise is mostly if you want to level lock yourself so that you can feel the challenge of the game without the quests going gray. So it's, in my opinion. So, however, landscape difficulty has also changed that variable somewhat, because you can now go into the landscape difficulty and change how hard the game is, like the landscape zones. So, not the instances. The instances are still going to see. So if you've outleveled an instance, it is what it is. But you know, so I would say, from my perspective, if your focus is story and the immersion in Middle Earth and just having great fun and listening to the amazing soundtrack and visiting these amazing locations, even though, yes, the game is dated a little bit, they still do a great job with the engine that they have. If you've ever checked out some of the newer zones, if you haven't, watch some videos. Like, I still think like the premium housing districts for Rohan are some of the best things I've seen in this game. Like, they are amazing, like the Viking themed houses in the forests and everything else. And the kin hall, the big kinship islands that you can get off the coast of Gondor, like the views are absolutely breathtaking. Like there are some really amazing vistas in this game. But to speak more towards questing, a good example of this is like you have the option to go to, especially because we level so fast now, you're going to have, by the time you're level 20, you're going to have like 4 or 5 different places you could choose to go to do quests. You could also choose to not do quests at all and just go run skirmishes and instances and dungeons with your friend. What is it? Shift I? I forget what instances is. No. I can't remember how to bring up the stinking... It's over here somewhere. Instance Finder panel. I don't remember the keyboard control to open this up. But you can go into the Instance Finder, and I don't really have anything here yet because I'm still low level. But like once you get to level 20 and you can unlock skirmishes and all the instances and everything else, you'll start getting access to the dungeons. And those dungeons all have their own storylines, and that's a whole nother level of challenge that's there as well. So the thing is there's so much here that you know, I've played this game. I was talking about this earlier. I've played this game since it launched. I still don't have a max level character, and I've never finished. I'm still have never been to Mordor. Like I have a character in Osgiliath. Like he's level 100, 500, level 106, my lore master. And it's because I'm constantly going back and trying out different areas that I didn't see the first time around. It's like my brother's like, hey, do you want to play Lotro? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to play Lotro. And we go play for a few months together. You know, I'll spin back around and check out an update. When the Yondershire came, I went and checked out the Yondershire, did the pub crawl of the Yondershire. Like there's always something to explore and someplace to go. And it's the only MMORPG that we currently have of Lord of the Rings. So it's the only way that I can get my Middle-earth fix. And until the game goes sunset, you know, I'm going to spend as much time as I can in these areas when I go there. So I've never been worried about the leveling or the difficulty or the challenge. I'm just happy to be able to get a chance to live and breathe Middle-earth and to be able to go have fun and play in this fantasy realm that I've known since I was 5 years old and first read The Hobbit. So, but I do realize that my take on it is not everyone's take on it. Like I said, I focus on story first. Other people are very much focused on, you know, we got to have that challenge. It levels too fast. There's too many experience. We're going too quick. We need to slow it down. I'm missing all the stuff. I need to... There's alts for that, you know? That's why I have so many alt characters, is it's like, yeah, maybe I want to do the Lone Lands this time, but next time I want to do North Downs. Or maybe I don't want to do either one of those. I want to go do Evendom and do that. Maybe I'll go do... I can't remember the name of the... You could get them on the mount. There's a new mount that takes you to those places. They're like war quests. I cannot remember what they're called. That's a whole nother way to level your character too, which is related to these. They're like, they send you off to these like war camps, and you do like missions for the war camps. And I cannot remember what those quests are called. But they're another type of mission that are kind of like skirmishes that you can go off and do. There's so much different stuff you can do here. So I think the stone was more relevant before landscape difficulty for the people who wanted a challenge out of the game, because now they can just go adjust their difficulty and get out of it exactly what they want without feeling the need to level lock. But I've never worried about great quests. There's even an option here. We turned it off the other night, and I gotta remember how to get back to it. I think it's under the UI. There's something in the UI settings for tracking trivial quests, I believe. And I'm going to go try to find it. I can't remember if it's under here or not. But it basically, it makes sure that you always see... Yeah, show trivial quest icons in radar. It's right here in the options underneath miscellaneous. It's off by default. I turn that on because I want to see every single quest show up on my minimap possible so that I don't miss the quests. Perfect example of this. I've played this game a long time, right? So here in Bree, I'm not going to show it right now because we were there earlier in the stream. In the south of Bree, down by the auction hall, there's a place called the, it's where the shade comes out at night. It's like the Hunter's Lodge, right? I have no recollection of the Hunter's Lodge at all. The quests I got from those NPCs, I remember the quests, but I don't remember getting those quests from those NPCs. So they've moved those NPCs, I think, over there, called the, you know, they call them it's the Hunter's Lodge quest, and they give the Men of Bree faction, and there's a building there, which you need faction to get inside. I think we actually have that faction. We can go check that out in a little bit. But the thing is like, I've played this game since launch. I have no recollection of that place. And it's like, even if it was gray, I would be like, oh, this is awesome. I've never seen this. Let's go do these quests. Like, let's find out what this is. I don't remember this because I never know what it's going to lead to. It could be a really cool quest line. It could be a really cool cosmetic reward. Everything you get in this game can be used as a cosmetic. It might be a housing reward. And if you get into the housing in this game, it's really deep, especially if you get into the premium housing. There's layers upon... It's a 17-year-old game, so there's so much to do. I would say don't... And I would say just don't worry about any of that. And just think of it like creative mode. And go just immerse yourself in the world and story. And now I need to scroll down because I know you wrote an answer. And I was ranting for so long. Spot on, says Arger. Thanks for taking the time to respond. 100% feel the same about how I'm approaching Lotro. I hit 20 last night and then focused on some crafting and a few quests, which took me to 24. But now I want to go back to the Dunedain storyline. So I'm going back to Swanfleet, for example. Absolutely, that's a great way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. Take your time. The writing in this game, the people who have written and worked on the writing staff for this game deserve every praise. They've done a great job over the years. It's got novels, multiple novels length worth of dialogue, if I said that right. Bosun says, does gear drop in instances like World of Warcraft? Yes, but most of the gear that I've ever worn has just been quest gear, especially when you start doing the epic line. The epic quest line, the book quests give you the best gear in the game outside of raids. Unless you're doing full dungeons. If you're doing full dungeons, like the 6-man dungeons, like, you're going to get some good gear out of those places. The boss mobs have really good chances of things. There's legendary items once you get into Moria. But just really good stuff. And there's quests that are related to the group dungeons that always give, like, the best gear for your tier. So it's very much worth doing the dungeons if you want to have the best gear. You could also... I could give two shits about the gear these days because I've done it all before. So that's my perspective on it. But if you want to worry about the gear grind, you can absolutely do the gear grind if you want. And there's lots of good gear that drops in the dungeons. Control J says it's Armada. It is Control J, thank you. I thought it was Shift J or Shift I, and it wasn't either one of those. I couldn't remember. Bosun says I would like to do every dungeon once on the level up over time. You can, but we did that. I think some of the very first Lotro videos that I started recording on this channel were 5 years ago, maybe, or so. Way before I was doing this for a living. We did a static group. My brother and I, Maduros, Rack, a couple of other people. We had our gaming community come in. There was probably 30 people that played together for about 3 months, and then the other 6 of us continued on for about 6 months. And we did all of Angmar and all of Moria in a static group. We met up 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We played. Somebody would miss out once a week or whatever. Somebody'd be gone, but the 6 of us, we just went through. If you can, it's hard to set up a group like that, but if you can find a group that treats it like Dungeons and Dragons, you're gonna get together for your bi-weekly session, your twice-a-week session, your once-a-week session, whatever it is. You can absolutely play it that way and do the dungeons as they are level appropriate. You can even do it through instancy these days. Once you hit level 20, you can just use the instance finder in the matchmaker and just do the dungeons that way. I'm not going to do Strider's Quest right yet, guys, because I want to go down and check to see if they have the faction for the Men of Bree. The Growling Southerner. Because you got remember that I got that faction ding while we were playing earlier, so. Wolfheart, what is up, man? Yeah, it is a classic. How you doing, man? You've been going through the Larian. So if you haven't been catching Wolfheart, guys, he's been going back through Larian Studios' back catalog and checking out some of their past games, which I've never played any of them. The only games I've ever played by them have been Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, which I played after they were announced as the company taking over Baldur's Gate 3. Those are great games. Good to see you, man. Let's go check our faction real quick. I don't know if it's enough to get in there yet. If it's not, we'll come back to Strider and do his quest. Busted says, I'll feed the kids, keep my eye out for your videos, check in next Monday night. Thank you, sir. Argus said, I had a hard time doing book quest pre-20 as I had a Wraith spawn in your Sarah Oakheart instance. God, that would suck. I've heard people saying that. I could swear, I need to go check the patch notes, but I could swear they said that they're not supposed to spawn in the private instances. But I would need to physically go look at the patch notes, because my brain doesn't work. Half the time I don't remember when I read shit unless I have it written down somewhere in my notes. Dude, I hear you, man. I had to, so I have a second laptop that I started working with now. And because of the way my desk is set up now, I don't have the perfect setup for it. So I had to sort of mix things together. And I've got my wife's Spanish keyboard plugged in, which has a completely different, like, key sizes and everything. Because my normal stuff when I'm doing the stand-up desk, this is my normal keyboard, right? So, but I'm sitting down here and the laptop's way back in the back and I've got all the monitors going. And I'm like, every time I go to use this thing, like the left shift button is like the size of my thumbnail. That's it. It's this tiny. And I'm like, how do you use this thing? I hate typing on this thing. Scaper says they won't spawn. Patch is coming live this week. Okay, Arger, there's your answer. Over on well, you're on YouTube. The guy Scapper over on Twitch just said the patch is going live this week. So the patch to fix the wraiths spawning in the private instances apparently is coming this week. I don't know the schedule, so apparently it could still happen. Well, Fart says, yeah, it's cool to see their evolution over the years. Even their early games still have a Larian feel. Dude, I know that you're as deep in, you're way deeper into Baldur's Gate 3 than I am, Wolfheart. And one thing I will say is that when they spun up the channel from hell the other day, I have not watched today's video, by the way. I'm supposed to watch that. It's on my list tomorrow morning. We're going to watch it, do a reaction video to it, everybody. But I haven't seen the one they just did today, which was the combat video. When they spun up the channel for hell video, when they opened up the 7th studio, when they said they were doing 2 big RPGs next, like, I am so excited about everything. Like, I'll never forget when they were announced as the company that was going to do Baldur's Gate 3, I said, who the fuck are these guys? Who do they think they are taking over Baldur's Gate? Like, where's the Black Isle people? Where's my BioWare? Where's Obsidian? Who's Larian? Then I played Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, and I went, oh, these guys know what they're doing. And then I went, okay, I'm a little nervous about only 4 people in the party instead of 6 people in the party, because, man, Baldur's Gate 2 until Baldur's Gate 3, Baldur's Gate 2 was my favorite CRPG of all time, and I love the 6-person. Like, other games were in there, like Dragon Age Origins and Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. There were some great games over the years, but, like, Baldur's Gate 2, 6-person party system, Baldur's Gate 1. Like, that's D&D for me, like, when I play a CRPG. So I was very nervous about the 4-person in my party, because it's one of the reasons I didn't really like the Neverwinter games, was because they had such a limited party size. And then when Sven started streaming early access, like, we'd all pre-ordered, we were waiting, and they started streaming the early access, and I remember the one, it was like one of the early streams when they were there at the little goblin encampment outside of the ruins, you know, and you can drop the pillar and it breaks that open. But then I remember watching him chuck a shoe at an NPC, and I was like, no fucking way! Like, you're allowing us to throw objects at NPCs? That's D&D. Like, and then with the jumping, and, like, you have managed to take my tabletop experience and turn it into something. This is going to be an amazing ride, and then just watching that evolution unfold, that has been by far the coolest development cycle that I've ever followed, outside of a couple of MMOs that I've been like. Despite the fact that it failed, the Vanguard Saga of Heroes development cycle was a lot of fun to be involved in, because I was in there from the time there was 20 people and friends and family, and I had almost 3 years with those people, and it was a great time. But I really wish more companies would take note of what Larian has done, not just from a game development perspective, but from a marketing perspective, because they've had some very interesting things to say about, is it Cromwell? I always forget who's their marketing director. Has had some very interesting things to say about how marketing just doesn't, the way a lot of game companies do marketing just doesn't work. So before I did this for a living, I worked in the travel space. My wife and I were travel content creators, videographers, public speakers for a lot of years, influencers if you want to say that. And so I've been wined and dined and sent around the world, and I've done lots of stuff at the top level, and it's a lot of fun, right? And one of the countries we worked for was Costa Brava, Spain. In the Costa Brava region of Spain. We went as 3 months. We were there as resident bloggers. And their country, that part of Spain, their region of Spain, won like the world's #1 travel destination for like 2 years in a row because of a lot of different things, but mostly because the head of tourism at the time, our friend Jama, he had this vision in his head of, we don't need to spend hundreds of millions of dollars of marketing. We need to work with content creators and influencers who understand our destination and who are passionate about our destination. And they went on to win like every single frickin' marketing award in Europe in like, I think it was 2016. They did this thing with it was their region of Spain and the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. And they outbeat like JetBlue and all these major airlines who were spending like $250 million on their marketing campaigns, and they did it for like $150,000, right? Because it was real people, real passion. And that's something that Larian brought to the table, was they said, you know, we're going to get the passionate fans involved from early on, and they did early access right. And I hope that more companies take note of that, because I don't even want to get into the whole monetization discussions, because it's less about that and it's more just about, I feel like Larian treats gamers like real people. They don't treat them like a commodity like gamers. They treat them like real people, and it's like, we want to make a game that's real, that's involved with everyone. And anyway, I could go on and on about Baldur's Gate 3 tonight. You triggered me in a good way. Come here, Frodo. You want to come say hi to everybody before you go out? Come here. Come on. You're scratching the back of my chair because you're ready to go out. But let's have you say hi to everybody. Because you're wanting to go out and get food because you hear mommy running around. Anyway. I love Baldur's Gate 3. I can't wait for what Larian's doing next. 2 big games in the works. I don't care what they are. I don't. I'm gonna play the shit out of them. It's gonna be fun. What's up? What's up, buddy? Alright, give me a couple minutes, everybody. I'm gonna go deposit him outside. Yes, I know you're ready. You're gonna smash the mic and everything. Ready? Let's go. Yeah. Okay, you wanna go the other way? No? Alright, cat dad stuff finished. Everybody else is outside, it looks like. So much institutional knowledge went into Baldur's Gate 3. And there's a lot that went into it for sure. Wolfart says Larian has taken the world interactivity to a new level. I think they won over many of the classic Baldur's Gate fans. For sure. I actually I think it's Slandered Gaming did a video today I watched on my lunch break. I have yet to respond to it. I've left a comment on it, but I want to do a reaction to it. So Josh Sawyer from Pillars of Eternity just did like a Q&A video, and Slandered was doing a reaction video. By the way, if you don't know who Slandered Gaming is and you love CRPGs, you also need to be following Slandered. I've done a couple of co-things with Slandered last year. He's a really good guy. He does a lot of like really deep CRPG stuff, especially like Pathfinder. He loves the Pathfinder games. But anyway, he was covering Josh Sawyer's recent video, and there was a discussion point in that video talking about how, of course, Obsidian has had conversations about Pillars of Eternity 3 because of what the success that Baldur's Gate 3 has. But part of the discussion is around how it's also not every company's going to have the budget to do what Baldur's Gate 3 did, to do what Larian did with Baldur's Gate 3. And that's a tough row to hoe for a lot of companies, especially if you're a legacy company like Obsidian that has two prior massive CRPGs under your belt. I say massive, maybe not massively popular, but critically acclaimed would be a better way to say that. The Pillars of Eternity games are very good, and they have a pedigree there going back to Knights of the Old Republic, Neverwinter Nights, so on and so forth. They are a legacy company. However, they don't have the budget to do something of Baldur's Gate 3, and I think the terror there as a game company is, if we were to attempt this, at least this is part of the discussion point that Slandered was covering in his video, is whether or not Obsidian can even attempt this. Because the expectation now is going to be, well, if you're going to do Pillars of Eternity 3, don't do it unless you're going to be able to do it as good as Baldur's Gate 3. Right? And that's not fair to game developers, but it's the unfortunate reality of like everyone's looking at what Baldur's Gate 3 just did and went, how the fuck can we replicate that? You know, like, not just from a monetary standpoint, but from a, how do we conquer the world, take the world by storm with a previously kind of niche area of gaming, which was CRPGs. Like, how do we make a globally popular CRPG? And that's not easy. But the expectation is there now from consumers. And so how do you overcome that? Because you're now always going to be under the shadow of Baldur's Gate 3 and what Larian Studios did. For better or for worse. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the reality you face as a game developer with a legacy studio behind you going, fuck, we'd love to make Pillars of Eternity 3, but we don't have $250 million. Or, you know, we've got, maybe we could do 15, 20. Might be able to do, you know. Obsidian could probably do a $50 million game. I think they've done quite a few, like $40, $50 million games in the past. I think that's a pretty good budget for them. But you're not going to make Baldur's Gate 3 on a $50 million budget. You're just not. Like, you're gonna need a lot more money than that. And that's not to say that you can't be creative, but I know that that's one of the fears that from what I understand the conversation from that Q&A, it's one of the fears they have is how do we live up to the legacy and also what the fans want. He also had a really interesting discussion point where he's talking about how he feels like maybe he's just not in touch with the modern audience in the same way that Larian is, which I would disagree with him on that, because I think Sawyer has always made really fun games. I think that Pentiment was not received in the way that they wanted it to be, so I'm sure that maybe had a little bit of and I'm speculating here. I know how I am as a creative individual. You know, I've written a lot of shit for a lot of people. I got 20 million words in print. Not everything is received the way you want it to be. And when it's not received the way you want it to be, it is sort of a bummer. It's like, man, try not to let it get to you, but it's like at the same time when something doesn't work, you're like, well, I guess maybe the audience is burned out. They don't want to see more. Anyway, I got sidetracked, everybody. Slandered is great. I love Slandered. I'm hoping he's going to do the DLC for Oh, I still can't get in. My standing's too low. I'm hoping he's going to do the DLC for Rogue Trader. I might not have time. So if he does it, I'm totally going to do. We're going to do like a watch through, a watch party for him. So I can't get in there. So we're going to go back to Strider. We're going to go do his quest. Philip Jakar over on Twitch says the BG3 comparison thing seems like a good opportunity to bring back smaller, really good, tighter, shorter AAA games instead of matching it. The indie scene has been booming with good small titles. I also think if they are successful, I think Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a move in that cinematic RPG narrative direction if they can pull that off. But also looking at, I would say Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is about to launch. You know, that's coming out really soon. And thanks for that. By the way, we had multiple people who did things and I wasn't paying attention. Thanks for the subscription over on Twitch, Augur. I appreciate it. Double dipping. Coming over here as well from YouTube. Thank you for that. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is another company that had a really small, tight budget for the first game, and it kind of blew up. Hey, if Wolfheart, if you're still here, aren't you doing a Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 playthrough right now? I did mine about 2 months ago, I think. 2 or 3 months ago. It was before my trip, so I think it was May. April or May. Phenomenal game, small budget, did very well. They're coming out of the gate swinging with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And they are a smaller indie company, but, you know, they're making a really good, what I would consider, I don't know that I would consider that a triple A, but that's definitely like a double A. Like, they are a rising indie force, and if Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 lands the way they want it to be, I think that'll catapult them into triple A status. That's just my opinion, of course, though. Opinions may vary on that. I think that in the CRPG space, if you haven't played Rogue Trader, Owlcat makes really good games. End of discussion. Like, they're not fully voiced. They don't have all the cinematic cutscenes and the mocap, but they are still damn good games. The 2 Pathfinder games, but Rogue Trader was a lot of fun. I think that companies like Owlcat, companies like Tactical Adventures who did Solasta, Rise of the Magister, they're in the middle of putting together their next game. There's a lot of theories about what that might be. They're another small indie company that you could definitely pay attention to because everything they did with Solasta was spot on. Very small, you know, independent budget, you know, off the back of a like $2 million Kickstarter, but they delivered. Like, I actually have not done the reaction video, and I need to. They sent me the PDF of the actual tabletop campaign book they have last week, and I forgot to do a reaction video to that. I'm not obligated to, but I'm going to. So let me write that down in my notes. Because we can go do and unlike Wizards of the Coast, who has been hitting YouTubers with copyright strikes over showing images from the player's handbook, Tactical Adventures is more than happy to have us share their stuff on social media, which is awesome. Wolfart says it's my second run. Love the game. Very excited to see where they are with this one. Yeah, I remember buying it a few years ago on the PS4, right before we moved to the homestead, and then I just never finished it. And then I started it later this year when they made the announcement at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I lost my soul for like 6 weeks because I didn't understand how the combat worked in that game the first time I played it, and then once I understood it, it was like, oh, you've got to get good with swords before you can actually land any attacks with swords. So you actually have to grind your sword craft. You got to grind your archery up to get the bow movement to stop. That was annoying as hell, like the bow movement. But once you start getting better at the bow, you start being able to control that, and it's less movement, and the better your bows get. And suddenly, now you're knocking and aiming, and it's on target. I still wish for a target reticle. I hope they give us a target reticle in 2, because I need a crosshair. I suck. Give me a crosshair, please. But I do love that game, so that's another good example of an indie company that's doing really cool things with a much smaller budget. And mocap. It sometimes feels that way, Philip Jokar, for sure. Sometimes feels like WoW, like WotC doesn't want people to see some parts of the book. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't really care. I love D&D. I don't care what versions they put out with. I'll always play it. Same thing with Pathfinder. I've heard, choke on my coffee here, I heard Starfighter 2.0 is coming. And if that happens anytime soon, I might have to see about scheduling an actual play series next year, because I had a lot of fun when we did Starfinder last year. That was a fun actual play series. Doing that first campaign in Starfinder. Wolfart says, it can certainly be a tough game to get into. Not everyone expects the combinations of you sucking as a player plus Henry actually sucking at combat too. Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't get it the first time I played it, dude. I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I totally did not get it. I was like, this combat system sucks. I don't want to play this game. And then, flash forward 3 or 4 years or whatever it was, 2.5, 3 years. And then I sit down and I actually give it the time it deserved. And I went, oh, this is like playing EverQuest 1. Like, I just suck. Like, my character needs to get good at swords before he's able to land attacks. And it's like, you got to go grind your time with the swordmaster, or go out and fight bandits and risk it all. Like, once I understood that, then it became okay. Well, we can just grind out while we're hanging out on stream. And then I think it was like, I remember the first bandits I got my ass kicked, and then I spent like 3 sessions training, like 3 stream sessions just training with the swordmaster. The captain, and then went back to the bandits and just like one-shotted all of them. I was like, oh, so this is how this works. I'm good with the sword now, and now I just come in and I'm like, bop, 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 done. It was great. But it was very interesting because it's like, it made you really feel like you're working your way up for being an absolute nobody peasant. And you've never touched a sword. You've never done archery in your life. You're the smith's son. Like, You've run errands for your dad since you were like 5 years old, and you've like worked in the smithy. Like, that's what you know. You don't know how to ride a horse. It's a great game. Oh, we have another turn in for Barlaman. Oh, that's for the tours. I mean, we'll take it, but it's not a priority right now. Let's go do Strider's Instance. Oops, wrong. Take the turn. There's a lot of stuff out there, Philip Joker. I mean, a lot of people will talk about Castles and Crusades and the Roll20 stuff. I think that there is just so much out there now in the TTRPG space that I love Dungeons & Dragons, and I will always follow everything Dragonlance until the day I die, because it's like my favorite. I mean, Elminster's cool and all, and Ed Greenwood's a badass guy as an individual. His social media is a riot. Forgotten Realms is fun, but I do like Dragonlance a lot more. Wolfart says could definitely use some improvements, but I think they'll make it a bit easier to understand. I've heard rumors that the new one's going to be a little more user-friendly.
Are you ready to leave?
Are you prepared to travel yet? If so, then come nightfall we will move against the camp where Amdir and the Dwarf Lord have gone into hiding. This is why I love book
Strider
quests.
and the Rangers pursue their fallen brother Amdir to the Blackwall's camp. But not all is as it seems.
There is evil afoot.
Can you feel the chill in the air? It's no normal cold, but the chill of fear, of evil. I doubt not that Amdir is here, but there is a greater evil as well. We should split our strength. For the good of Middle-earth, none can be allowed to escape. Langland and I will look for another way inside, while you and Torthen search for Amdir. We must be quick, before the evil bursts forth from here and threatens all of Breeland. It's time for us to act.
That's my only lament, is this game is so old that it's not fully voiced, because it would be so badass if it was.
Torthen, take Renfail with you and head to the main gate. Langland and I shall look for another entrance and press the attack from there.
Yes, sir. Because on days like today, when I've already been streaming for like 8 hours and I've done like 6 videos in between, I have no voice left. If I have to start doing goblins and stuff, I'm going to be toast. Amdur kills me every time because he's Nazgul form now, so I have to do like creepy Nazgul voice. Oh, I may have needed to talk to Torthen.
Are you ready?
Come with me. It's time to deal with Amdur and these brigands. If he escapes, it would spell doom for Middle-earth.
Dude, Dragonlance books are awesome, Wolfheart. Especially if you've never read them. Oh shit, yeah, you need to start with the original trilogy, man. Dragons of Bottom, Twilight, and etc. They are so much fun. And they're quick reads, too. They're not... I think the best way to explain them is think of it like... And it's not; these are not my words, these are other people who have described it. It's like Empire Strikes Back with a fantasy setting. Like, it's that level of fun and adventure. Like, Dragonlance is... That first trilogy is a great time. The characters you get introduced to... You know, and then them going on to, you know, I don't remember how many more hundreds of books got published in that franchise. And all the TTRPG stuff. I mean, that was our inspiration for what we just wrapped up with the Weed and the Void was... We did a tabletop book, which I showed off the other night on stream. We did our tabletop book, which is the source book, and the adventure module, level 1 to 4. We did the first novel in the series, and we did a point-and-click adventure game. Like, it was... Tracy Hickman and his wife, when they created Dragonlance as a TTRPG thing, and then it became books, and then it became, you know, stuff after that, but it was always tabletop to begin with. I love the history of Dragonlance. It's a really cool franchise. And then also with the way they did the wizard character, with him showing up in their other franchises, it was really fun to always kind of see the nod to that. Like, if you go read the Deathgate cycle, you know, you see, it's, oh, Fizban and Zifnab. Oh, I get it. Same wizard, different name. Guys living in multiple dimensions here. Oh, he's gonna run off.
Let me kill this guy.
Where's the statue? I think the statue's around the corner that we need to click for the deed.
Silently now. Darkness approaches.
There's the source of the Blackwold's fear. Come! Let me see you at this gate.
Where do we start with the Dragonlance books? Do you start with the first 3? The original trilogy. That's where you get introduced to all the characters. And then after that, if you get into it, then you read The Time of the Twins, which is the second trilogy. There's a chronological order. Just go to the wiki. Read them in the published orders, what you want to read them in.
Do you think service to Angmar would come without a cost?
Oh, wait, this is the dwarf guy. I forgot.
I found them after all. You're all...
Hang on. With 2 fists.
You're relieved of your obligations of Blackwold. Now to deal with you, Ranger.
Oh shit, we got a barrel white. Kill it with fire.
Okay, the lore of the Cardolan Prince.
Come, friend.
This is not the end of our business here. I will, but I think there's a statue over here I need to grab first. I've not read the most recent Dragonlance trilogy, but Weiss and Hickman just announced they're doing a follow-up trilogy now to the new characters that just got introduced with the new trilogy. So it looks like we're getting plenty more Dragonlance to come, which is awesome. Never gonna say no to more. Oh, it's more than a dozen. It's now I'm gonna go look it up. Hang on, guys. I think it's... We just did this I think last year, because Liam and I had a discussion on like how many books were in the Forgotten Realms versus how many books are in the Dragonlance setting. How many? Oops. Yeah, how many books? Are in Dragonlance? Over 190 novels have been written in the Dragonlance setting. So it's a few. But what you want to start with is the original trilogy and go from there. If you really want to get into Dragonlance, you then, as you're reading the books, you go get the tabletop. Those are going to be harder to find though, because those are like legacy settings things that are from a long time ago in the earliest days of Dungeons and Dragons. From, yeah, a long time ago. Dragonlance was created in 1982 as a campaign setting. The first novel did not come until... I'm going to go look it up. ...1984, so a couple years later. Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Winter Night, Dragons of Spring Dawning. That's the first trilogy. Then you're going to read Time of the Twins, War of the Twins, Test of the Twins. And then from there it starts going crazy, because then they start hiring other authors to come in and use their stuff and play in their playground. It's a lot like what Lucas did with the Star Wars universe in the 90s, where he let other people come in and just use their creative energy to create lots of fun stuff. Not all of the Dragonlance books are great. With 190 novels, there are some duds in there. But the Weiss and Hickman ones are always good. And I would highly recommend that if you get into it, you go read the Deathgate Cycle / Ninth Gate Cycle by Weiss and Hickman. That's like when they were at the peak of their world building craft. That series is absolutely amazing. They go to different worlds. Each world has a different theme. So there's like dwarves on one, elves on another, a water planet, the core of another planet. There's some crazy stuff with like titans and tattoo magic and gods, and yeah, it's a good series. It's a really good series. I just reread that like probably 3 or 4 years ago. It'd been the first time I'd read those books in a long time though.
Stay a moment.
Who was that dwarf, and what power was his to command whites? That the Black Words are in terror of that creature is certain, but I still sense something greater still in these ruins. And where is Amdir? Perhaps beyond this gate. Do not lose your nerve. Argus says, for those interested in chasing wraiths, he says this over on Twitch, gray mobs cannot spawn wraiths. So if you're a chicken shit like me, kill gray mobs. Then you won't have any problem.
You shall not interfere. Amdir is now a servant of the Great Eye. Take the robes of the cargo, the Forsworn.
My lords, the rangers approach with fire.
The fools are too late. Amdir's change is nearly complete. Come, brethren, we must leave. Now is not the time for such a fight.
Alright, we gotta take care of this guy.
You are too late.
Oh no, he's turned!
I serve the Great Eye.
Poor Amdil. He is fully passed over. Don't get stabbed by a Morgul blade, kids. Because that's what happens. I'm sorry,
It's a
Amdil.
sorry day.
Be at peace. I will lead you back to Strider.
It's a sorry day.
The Nazgul have crossed the Eisen and are heading for the Shire. The hobbits must be quick-footed enough to escape the wrath of the Nine. And we can only hope that Frodo slips through the traps of the enemy.
Good times, man.
Alas for Amdir.
Grieves my heart that the enemy was able to turn Amdir thus. He was my friend and kinsman. My people will remember him as the man he once was, good and noble. It troubles me that the Nazgul have crossed the river and moved into Breeland at just this time. There are events in motion which could determine the fate of Middle-earth. If you are able and willing, I may have another task for you. I think we'll just take the cloak. Yeah, my stuff's better that I've made for myself, so we'll take the cloak.
I have a task for you.
Back to Come to speak to Underhill once again.
What road did you take, Frodo? The ring wraiths ride openly in the Shire, but there are places which are even more terrible and dangerous. If you choose the path I fear, search for the light in the darkness.
The light in the darkness. Oh, it automatically teleported us back to Come. Well, that's convenient. I didn't think they were doing that on the legendary servers.
Good day.
Is there something I could help you with? The Blackwalls have been broken and scattered, you say? That's good news for Come. So, this Ranger Strider thinks we should investigate Skunkwold's old hideout. Well, I'm not sure about that. It's not a safe place.
Please, stay a moment.
Oh, we just got to level 17. Renfail the Unscathed. I've made it to 17 without dying. I think you have to get to 20 to get the final. We'll see if we can make it. I'm always terrified when the storms roll through at night, because if I get a power outage, it's over. Thankfully, I don't think it's gonna storm tonight. I'm checking now. We'll accept. I don't want to travel with him right yet, though. That's a. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a 60% chance tonight at like 11 o'clock, so we're good. Cool. See ya, Wolfart. Nader Pritt says, which classes would you recommend for being able to solo Wraiths on Fearless difficulty? Dude, I can't answer that question because I haven't even... I'm not here to solo Wraiths, so I've literally... I had no intention of playing Lord of the Rings Online this year. I've played this game since it came out. I've done my time. I love the game, but I have lots of other things that I'm playing right now. Or modern games. But the reaction to that video I did the other day just talking about it was so... well, and I had a whole bunch of people say, why aren't you playing until next year? And I was like, I'm busy right now, you know. But I was like, I can hop on and I can do Monday nights. But I'm only here, literally, my only objective here is just to hang out in Middle Earth and celebrate it with other people. Like, I've done these quests a million fucking times. Like, this is, I get no enjoyment out of, like, running these quests for the umpteenth time. There are a handful, you know, I get excited about a few things. It's always fun to meet Strider for the first time. It's fun to meet Glorfindel and Rivendell. It's fun to meet Gandalf for the first time. It's really cool to interact with the Fellowship. There's some great quests in Rivendell when you're working with Gimli and Legolas. Those are always fun because I love the books, and I have since I was a little kid. But I've played this game to snot and back, so I can't tell you because I'm not here to worry about the ring wraiths. I'm literally on Landscape Difficulty 1 playing a hunter, and I run away from every wraith I see. Because I want my level 20 title. That's it. I will occasionally take them down if there's other players around, but for the most part... Brave, 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 brave Sir Renfail. I think we got some points to spend. I will definitely take Blood Arrow. Which I haven't even unlocked yet. Right? Did I get it and it's just not in my... Blood Arrow... Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't gotten it yet. Phineas says greens are safe, so you can level without them.
James Beveridge says, I have a champ on Angmar with Fearless. It's not easy with the Wraiths showing up behind you. The Wraiths add a certain element. I mean, we've seen probably 7 or 8 of them tonight. I think we've done 2 of them. The rest of them I just ran away. I don't want to die. Alright guys, I have like no voice left, so I'm gonna head out. I did like a 3-hour No Man's Sky stream today, and we've just wrapped up a 3-hour stream here, and I did a whole bunch of video recording this morning. I'm toast. We have been burning the candle at both ends over the past 10 days, but it's been a lot of fun. We have a ton of new people on both YouTube and Twitch, so I just want to say shout out to everybody for tuning in. We've been doing the morning streams at 11 a.m., afternoon streams. We're not doing a stream tomorrow night, but Wednesday I'll be back with World of Warcraft. But tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central, we'll be back for more No Man's Sky as we continue the expedition now that we've kicked that off. And I've got 2 videos coming out this evening that you'll want to pay attention to over on YouTube. And I'll give you the times for those so you can check those out as they come out. So if you're following over on Twitch for the live streams, awesome. Don't forget to check out YouTube because that's where the day-to-day stuff happens. What do we have? Oh no, we only have 1 video coming out tonight because we already did the one earlier. So at 10 p.m. Central, there's a video on No Man's Sky talking about freighters. And then tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., got a catalog guide. Then tomorrow at 10 a.m., how to change landscape difficulty in Lord of the Rings Online, followed up by 4 p.m., what's a good entry-level HOTUS setup for Star Citizen, because I might dabble in Star Citizen this year, depending on a few things. You never know. The countdown has begun, everybody. The 22nd, we are moving over. The daily streams will become World of Warcraft: The War Within for about 5 days until the 27th, at which point the main stream becomes Star Wars Outlaws. The main streams happen at 11 a.m. Central Time. And we'll be rolling over from Star Wars Outlaws to Space Marine 2, so it's going to be a very busy 6 weeks or so. Gamescom, we're getting release dates for a lot of games, so we're waiting for the Shattered Space DLC for Starfield. We're waiting for Dragon Age the Veilguard launch date, Indiana Jones, and the Great Circle launch date, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 launch date. Tomorrow I'm going to be waking up and reacting to the Stalker 2 dev deep dive that went live today, so I'll have that out over the next couple of days. That's another game we're going to be playing this fall, so it's going to be a jam-packed winter and fall session, and I hope you're here for all of it. Above and beyond Lord of the Rings Online and No Man's Sky, which are the 2 big things we're playing right now. I will catch everybody tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here, YouTube and Twitch. Thanks for the subs and everybody supporting financially. It does allow me to do this full-time for a day job. I appreciate it, guys. There's a Discord if you want to have me scream at you in the announcements channel whenever I go live. But otherwise, just subscribe in both places so that you always get an update. And then all the socials. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X. We're there. There's a Patreon if you want to get involved with my work as a game dev and sci-fi author, fantasy author. Have fun in Middle-earth, everybody. Have a good night.